Yeah, since I have a technical background, not only for programming, but also from installing and designing systems, I can see where things can go wrong in the licensing area. Project is most of the times seen as we're going to build a new system. We know all the technical specifications, we do a draft design, we look at how it will eventually work out. But then licensing comes looking around the corner. I think that's a little bit of a gap in the designs. And nowadays, we have seen that in the past, the IT assets, the hardware itself was very expensive. You can see nowadays that the licensing can be very expensive. That the value of a license can be 3-4 times the hardware assets. And especially if you check how you are using it. Sometimes the license is only based for an individual computer, while now you are using it suddenly on multiple computers or infinite computers. So it can be difficult to check which license applies to which system. As licensing and compliance is a relatively new area, it has been developed in the last few years. You see that vendors are now more and more asking their clients what kind of licenses do you have in place and how are you using it. Nowadays virtualization is a very hot topic. Teleworking, working remotely. And you can see that some of the licenses that are in place that count for local installation are now being used into a virtualized desktop environment. So the license actually doesn't really fit the infrastructure. Yeah, there's a big disconnect between the IT teams that do the design of all the hardware. You can see they are more and more specialized in hardware design, network design, clustering of systems, SAN, storage area networks, virtualization. These persons are most of the time very technical driven. They can come up with the most beautiful designs that are technically challenging and very efficient. But the licensing that also looks around the corner. You have to see that the licenses that are applied or are in use for these systems also apply to it. A license can be for one individual system only, and suddenly when you are doing clustering where you have multiple systems, then the license doesn't fit the technical hardware layer that's under it.